What's going on, everybody? It's the Sun and Tim Show. I'm Sun.
And I'm Tim. Bears
And the
win!
Bears win. Yes.
Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
what an impressive victory. 33-27 on the road. Division rival against the Vikings. What a win, Tim. What a win.
I can't emotionally handle this.
I
I don't know whether to cry or get angry or get happy. I'm an emotional basket case, man.
What is it? You're a glass case of emotions, or what? I forget.
Yeah. I'm a glass case of emotions, guys.
Oh my gosh, it was nuts. I mean, it would talk about a roller coaster from looking like the Bears were going to put it away. Vikings keep coming back. Mitch throws the interception. They get a fourth down stop. I mean, yeah, this game had it all.
This game really did, son, and
Yes.
I'm just so stoked. We are in the playoff race. If the Eagles win, we have a 60% chance at that final wild card. If they lose, we have a 40% chance. So we likely are going to play meaningful football in week 17.
Yes.
Good.
I don't know about you, Tim, but I'm an Eagles fan right now.
I'm an Eagles fan. They're losing 2-0, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, the game just started. And, I mean, I believe the Eagles still have a shot. I think they're sitting at 4-7, right? 4-7-1.
4-8-1. But, I mean, the Redskins just lost today. So they have every reason to want to play. Yes. I don't know what happened to the Cowboys, but the Redskins lost.
Yeah, the Cowboys beat the 49ers today.
They're alive too.
Nick Mullins is like an interception every time he throws the ball. I think he had like 4 interceptions. They had like a fumble. I'm like, geez. And then they had like a special teams touchdown Dallas did. Oh, man.
The Bears can clinch a playoff spot next week with the following scenario.
Okay.
The Eagles beat the Cardinals this week. Next week, the Bears beat the Jags. Saints beat the Vikings. 49ers beat the Cardinals. So it's a lot. But, man, we did it.
It's 2020. It's 2020, Tim. Anything can happen, right?
Anything can happen, man.
Yeah, that's
all right.
So guys, where do we start? Let's start with our matchups that we talked about in
offense, defense.
Yes, let's talk about the Bears offense versus the Vikings defense.
What stuck out to you?
Oh my gosh. What a terrific game that was called today by Bill Lazor. First of all, let's start off with the fact that Montgomery had 32 rushing attempts. Let's start off with the fact
32 for 146.
Yeah, so I think we should start off with the fact that they finally committed to the run. It looked great.
Yes, it did. It did. They had the guts to stay with it. That's awesome.
Yes. So let's start with that. Let's talk about the fact that Montgomery had a wonderful game back there. The offensive line blocked really, really well for him and for Mitch. I mean, there's so many like superlatives you can give out for this Bears offense. They were just fantastic today.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's go to the O-line first. I got to give major credit to Sam Mustipher again.
Oh man,
that dude! I think I saw it on Twitter that Sam Mustipher, what he does well is pick up blitzes, and what Cody Whitehair.
What was that, Tim? Tim, you're breaking up a little bit. We missed you. All we heard was Cody Whitehair. Oh, yeah, but Tim. Oh, no, I guess we lost Tim for a little bit. So,
man, I think my internet cut off.
Okay, yeah, try it again now. Let's start. Okay. Yeah, let's start.
We can always
talking about Sam Mustipher.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, Sam Mustipher, big deal, man. He's picking up blitzes unlike Whitehair was. Talk about huge. Like a lot of that touchdown run, that 15-yarder, one of the last touchdowns, Bars and Mustipher just paved a huge hole. And talk about Montgomery. That dude has vision. I complained about his vision for the last year, but man, he's able to cut back on blocks that the first defender never gets him. Mm-hmm. He's relentless. And Greg Jennings was just oozing about him. And it's just so awesome that Montgomery was able to do all these awesome things. I just have too many words in my head to talk about this like coherently.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you do that, son?
Well, I feel like this is the David Montgomery we thought we were going to see. I mean, there's so much potential coming out of college. We loved this guy. This guy was going to be our running back for the future. We got rid of Jordan Howard to make room for David Montgomery. So it's like watching him today look like the performance that we thought we were going to get. Like, just watching him, and it was frustrating to see like the beginning of the season, and we thought he was slow. We thought it didn't look like he could, even break the line of scrimmage. Now that he's got some blocking, you really see his vision, getting to that second level. You really see him making guys miss. You see him breaking off large chunks of yardage. I mean, all he needed was some blocking.
Yeah, he did. And, on that same level, Bill Lazor, like you were saying, so vital to this team's resurgence. He like Mitch, Bill is playing within the offense. He has seen our strengths. Man, talk about Nagy may have saved the season with that call to bring Lazor as the coordinator.
Yes.
He's getting Mitch out on bootlegs almost all game. They're sticking with Montgomery with the hot hand. They stopped going to Patterson. I think after Patterson got hurt a little bit, but they could have kept going to him because Patterson did come back in the game to do a couple kick returns. But they just stayed with him. They used him as a bell cow. I'm kind of bummed that it went down to the last possession. I wish Montgomery got that final first down. But even then, man, I just feel like the national media, and even I was listening to some Vikings podcasts, they didn't even think about Montgomery. It was just like a second thought. I didn't hear one word on David Montgomery, but Montgomery was averaging over 100 yards a game in the last 3 games before this, 90 to 100. And, man, talk about a coming out party.
It was great. I tell you what this offense reminded me of? It reminded me of back when the Houston Texans had Matt Schaub and Arian Foster. It looked a little bit like that because you kind of saw a great running game, and then they did play action, bootlegs, got Mitch out of the pocket. I mean, throwing, sometimes some of those patterns were like two-player patterns, and yet Mitch was able to get outside of the pocket and complete the throws. I mean,
let's talk about Mitch.
Yeah, let's talk about Mitch.
I have to say real quick, I felt like I had a Vikings fan on my left shoulder telling me, when's he going to make that big mistake? When's he going to make that big mistake? Because he wasn't making it. He was, like I said, playing very much within himself, and the offense just being really smart, actually using his legs. It was like he had free reign to do his thing. He was finding players open. He was schemed perfectly with all those play action bootlegs. He was just making the smart read all game, aside from 2 bad passes.
Correct.
But okay, so first of all, I'm just going to go into that one play that was like, what, WTF? Why are you putting Holtz out wide? And Mitch, why are you making that predetermined read that you were going there all play? It was clear, frustrating. On the other hand, I'm just like looking over my things. First quarter, get Mitch moving early. Nice jump pass. Wasn't decisive on 3rd down. Second quarter, another nice play action to Graham. Another bootleg. Awesome. Just like, getting Mooney in stride. Finding Allen Robinson open. Getting Jimmy Graham on the crosser as well. Mitch just played a really smart game, and it's exciting to finally see patience pay off.
This is the best we've seen Mitch look, the most, or at least I should say the most comfortable he's looked throughout his entire time as a Chicago Bear, if you ask me.
You hated Mitch, bro.
Oh, yeah. Well, he never looked comfortable back there. And we were shouting from the rooftops, and we're not even football guys. We're just football fans who love the Bears. We could clearly see that Mitch Trubisky was successful in a scheme that's run heavy, play action, bootlegs, get him out in the open field, let him scramble, sometimes use his legs. We knew this. And yet we were watching
everybody knew this.
Yeah, everybody knew this. And yet we're sitting here watching Matt Nagy completely throw all of this down the toilet.
Oh my God.
Now we see a resurgence Mitch Trubisky looks about as comfortable as I've ever seen him, and he completed passes to 7 different receivers.
Nice.
So I mean, you're talking about spreading it around. This looks like the offense that I think the Bears should run. It's a
perfect.
simpler offense. Simpler offense. It's not all that complicated. I mean, you run a lot of these crossing routes, dominate the ball using the run play action, bootlegs. This is exactly how the Bears offense should run. And I don't know. I mean, you're talking about a divisional opponent, a Vikings team that knows this Bears team very well. And yet the Bears were able to go
to do everything. They scored on every possession except 2. The first possession and then the interception.
Right.
So really, that's 9 possessions they should have scored. They couldn't stop them. I mean, I'm looking at the stats. Mitch Trubisky went 15 of 21. His accuracy was on par for 202 yards, so he didn't have to do too much. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and ran for 34 yards.
It was beautiful. It was great. We couldn't have asked anything more from the offense. I think the offense gets an A+.
Yes.
Everybody.
I give him an A.
Okay.
You go A+?
I'm gonna go A+ because look, man. I mean, maybe I've just set the bar a little bit lower, but scoring 36, dude, 36 points last week. 33 points this week. It's a scoring explosion.
31 points per game in the last 4.
Dude,
look at the Chiefs.
It's like where did this offensive volcano come from the Chicago Bears? But I love it.
I love it too. And Cairo Santos.
Yes.
21 in a row, baby.
Yes.
Found their kicker. Just ice cold, man.
I love it. Love it. Love the offense. Okay, so now let's talk about the defense against the Vikings. What did you think? What were your initial thoughts on how the defense played?
I thought they came through when it counted.
Yes.
They came through when it counted. They had 2 huge 4th down stops. The Vikings were just marching down the field, and I feel like if Minnesota got the pass going early, we might have lost this game.
True.
Because Cousins was playing well all game, man. And I hate Tyler Conklin. I just don't like Tyler Conklin. Anyway, I know, right, man, dude, like. And then I felt like I was gonna have flashbacks if he caught that Hail Mary.
Oh my God!
I was like, no, Tyler, no.
Was it just me, or did that Hail Mary look like it batted up in the air like for 10 seconds? It hung in the air forever. Look, man. Look, you were right on the money. The Bears defense made the plays when it had to. If you ask me, the MVP of the Bears defense today was Roquan Smith. Again, that guy was everywhere. I thought he was.
How many tackles did he have? Let's check. Keep going.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like he was the one guy that was making plays. I also liked the fact that they were able to still get some sacks on Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
I mean, they were still able to get pressure. They didn't blitz much today. I think they sort of thought that their front 4 could get pressure on Cousins, and they did. It was
a lot of hurries. A lot of hurries.
It was good to see Quinn get a sack.
And that's something I wanted to point out. Quinn is better, and it makes so much more sense. Quinn is better on turf. That's why he was so good last year. Now he comes to Soldier Field, which jacked up surfaces. No wonder he can't get footing or do anything.
Yeah.
Now he comes to Minnesota. He was getting pressure all game.
Yes.
He was getting held more than Mac, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Big deal. And Bilal Nichols, I got to give that guy. That guy's been awesome.
Yes.
I think he had a sack and a half. Mm-hmm. He just really is disrupting. He's looking like Akeem Hicks.
Yes. 100%. The Bears, the front 4 look great. I have to admit, I mean, I didn't mind too much. I thought the loss of Jalen Johnson was going to be huge, but I thought, Shelley did okay. I thought Kindle Vildor did okay. I didn't think they weren't getting gashed on plays at all. So and they actually
that bogus pass interference call on Vildor.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, that was offensive pass interference by Thielen.
I would agree with that. So, I mean, any way you look at it, I thought I would give the Bears defense a B-.
Okay.
I thought they made the plays when they needed to, but yeah, they weren't able to hold Cook. I don't know if you could. I don't know if you can hold Cook twice in a year to under 100 yards, right? He's just too good. But
Cook looked like he finally solved the Bears' defense, and he was gashing them mostly, in my opinion, when he get that first cut.
mm-hmm.
I remember the past couple games, he'd always be running down the throat of the defense and getting stopped. This game, I saw him good 5-6 times be able to make that first cut. Instead of going inside, he'd be able to go outside and got a 15, 20-yard gain a couple times. So
Mm-hmm.
looks like he made a nice running adjustment there. That was pretty cool to see. Not
Yeah.
really cool for a Bears fan, but it was pretty cool to see for him.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, they couldn't stop Dalvin Cook. Kirk Cousins looked like he looked great today. It
He
was
did.
one of those games that you knew would come down to like the final possession, the way it went. And yeah,
I got to give the Bears credit too, son, for 2 huge third down stops in the red zone. You got that huge one where they rushed Cousins out of the pocket and Irv Smith dropped the ball at the end of the second quarter.
Yes.
And then there was another huge one when they could have gotten back into the game 27-24, but the Bears stopped them, on third down. And the third down, like within 5 yards of the end zone, and Cousins threw it out.
Mm-hmm.
So those 2 stops were huge moving forward.
Yes.
And yeah, the Bears did get stopped a couple times as well inside the 30, but big plays by the defense all around.
Agreed. They did. They
I'll
made
give them
awesome plays.
I'll give them a B. I don't like the yardage they're giving up. I don't like that they continue to not be able to stop the Vikings, but they made the big plays when it counted.
Mm-hmm.
That hurry by Urban in one of the most important moments of the game,
Mm-hmm.
and the Vikings didn't account for him.
Correct. This was a completely different game from the previous Bears-Vikings game just a few weeks ago. So this is, I don't know. This is exciting stuff. The Bears are trending up now, Tim.
The Bears are trending up. So do you want to talk a little bit more about the game, or do you want to go into your most valuable Bears?
Okay. Oh my gosh. 100%. Yeah. Let's go into our most valuable Bear. And today, I can't decide whether it's Bill Lazor or Montgomery, and I'm going to go with Montgomery. I think he was incredible. This was the best we've seen Montgomery. I mean, that is a tough Minnesota defense he did this to on the road. I mean, how many yards did he have? 150 yards?
Yes.
On the ground. I mean, he was
142.
142. He was incredible. I mean, 146. 146,
yeah,
2 touchdowns. I mean, he was just
nice.
Yeah, I mean this looked like a Chicago Bear running back. I mean, it looked great. Yeah. So I would say
nice.
David Montgomery gets the game ball for me. How about for you, Tim?
I saw a really cool stat in the game that said the Vikings were it was about in the second quarter, but the Vikings were the 3rd best D on third down and in the red zone. At that time, the Bears were 4 of 6 on third down and 2 touchdowns in 2 red zone appearances. I kind of want to see what that is. I'm going to look that up maybe for later. Mm-hmm. But I got to give the ball to Matt Nagy and Bill Lazor. Talk about and it's so frustrating because everyone knew this a year and a half ago, what the Bears were good at, right? Mm-hmm. And if the Bears don't make the playoffs because they didn't recognize this is a damn shame. But you've got to give credit where credit is due. Lazor knows how to use Trubisky, and he used him well all game. He's actually playing to his strengths. Mm-hmm. Nagy, I thought he called a really good game all around. He used his timeouts well. Mm-hmm. Maybe I don't know what Nagy does anymore.
Yeah.
But it just felt like, I don't know. I just felt like the coaching staff, especially the offensive coach, were on par in this game. And actually sticking with Montgomery, that was brass balls by Lazor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I got to give Lazor a ton of credit here. And and like you said, 7 different receivers were able to get the ball. It was awesome. It was really awesome.
It was interesting that you brought up Matt Nagy, and we talked about this in previous conversations. Matt Nagy, one of the things he really does well is he is the rah-rah guy. He gets those guys amped up, and they play together for the most part. I mean, and that's probably one of his strengths is
Yes.
keeping the group together and keeping them fighting. And amidst that horrible slump, I mean, I was really happy to see him give up the play calling duties, because you're right. I think Bill Lazor has just a better handle of this offense than Matt Nagy does.
Or at least he has a better handle of somebody like Trubisky, especially like we said, of being able to have Andy Dalton in the past, seeing a quarterback with limitations. Just seems like he's a really cerebral play caller and was able to take advantage very well. And it doesn't hurt when you finally figure out the O-line combinations, which is
Yeah.
awesome. And you know what? I'll say this for next season. We have an interior O-line that we can definitely going forward be excited about. And we also have a backup guard that could do anything in Alex Bars once James Daniels comes back. So all we need to worry about is our tackles. So
Oh my
that's
gosh.
really positive for the future.
How awesome is that the interior of our offensive line looks to be fixed? I mean, with Mustipher, Whitehair, and Daniels going forward, it looks pretty darn good now. I mean,
Pretty damn good.
oh, dude, we were just talking a couple of weeks ago about draft picks and trying to trade up in the top 10, and now look at us. We're like, well, we've got Bears. We've got Bears fever now. Tim.
Let's talk Bears playoffs, man. This is the last section. We have to talk Bears playoffs now. Son, I think we're going to make it. I'm going to make a declaration right here. The Bears right now, if they beat Jacksonville, I think they're going to the playoffs. And, dude, I think they're going to have really good momentum. This team is streaky, and we're seeing it again. This is a very streaky team. But the offense is finally working.
Yes.
The defense is they're starting to get pumped up, man. If both these units can lift one another up, I like this team a lot, especially with Lazor. In the NFC, with teams like New Orleans, who you don't know what you're going to get with Breeze, and they're huge chokers in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, Breeze like broke every rib in his body, and he's coming back.
He's probably coming back too soon.
Yeah.
Seattle's been questionable on defense all year. Tampa Bay, I mean, they came back today. I'm not a huge fan of Tampa Bay, especially their coach and quarterback. It seems like they need a new coach, really, to utilize Tom Brady well.
Yeah. There's something about them that just
The team I'm really worried about is the Rams, if we make it. But I'm not even going to get there. But I'm just saying, if the Bears can continue this momentum, all of a sudden, man, maybe my Bears fandom is just going through the roof, and then I'm just going to get a little too excited and not be able to handle myself, man. I just want to see a Bears playoff game, man. And I tried so long to hide that. But I can't, I can't, man. I can't hide it anymore.
Well, we talked about it, Tim. No. We said earlier in the season, when the offense was struggling, all we needed was a middle-of-the-road offense. Yes. And with the defense that we had, we can make noise in the playoffs. Well, we have it now.
Yes.
We have it now. This is what, over the course of the last few weeks, this looks like a playoff team, Tim. And and with a game against Jacksonville next week, a winnable game. I mean,
Baltimore destroyed him today.
Oh yeah, last I looked, it was like 26-0. Yeah. The Jaguars look like they're mailing it in. I mean, it looks like they're kind of like saying, "Okay, this is the end."
Come on, Trevor Lawrence. Come on, Jets. Lose.
Yes,
lose.
Yes. They want in on the Trevor Lawrence odds there. But the fact is, I think we're going to see a Bears playoff game. I can't believe we're saying this. Dude, a few weeks ago on podcast, I was ridiculing you for thinking that the Bears were a playoff team. Remember?
You really were, man. You
were saying we've got a chance. And I called you out on it. And now I've got to eat my words.
Eat your words, son. Eat your words.
So Tim, I apologize. This Bears looks like a playoff team, and I sure hope they make the playoffs too.
Dude, I was like so nervous. Like, I could just imagine. I was thinking about before that Hail Mary happened. There's three things that could happen here. You have the Chicago media blasting the Bears and Vikings fans just going crazy about this. Two things. Or you have the Bears winning this game and having a serious shot going forward. And everybody's going to question him. Who gives a crap? We're 7-7. Let's see what's happening with Arizona. Do you know what's happening with Arizona, dude?
Yeah, I could look up the score right now. But yeah, I mean
We're in real time, guys.
yeah, absolutely. I think it's here, let's see. Oh my gosh, Cardinals are up 16-0. Oh gosh, I guess Jalen Hurts he's not doing well today. Looks like
No.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, that's not good. Because next week the Cardinals have the 49ers.
Okay.
So they're likely going to win. And then if they lose, so this is
well, you have to look at these
all
division
right,
games.
I don't feel as good right now.
Well, division games, look, it's just all they need to do is win. They got to win out. Arizona's got to lose one game for the Bears for the door to be open.
Yeah.
I think
Philly's inside the Cardinals 25. Positive.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
No. I think that I think that the Bears still have a shot. I mean, they need help, but they still have a shot. And this is the team that I think we wanted to see at the beginning of the season, and we're finally getting that team. So, you know, I'd say let's just ride this out anyways. There's 2 games left either way, and finally we're getting the Bears team we were hoping for. So let's just enjoy it, man.
Can I ask you one last question?
Sure, of course.
Do you extend Mitch Trubisky or place the franchise tag on him? Or do you need 1 or 2 more games?
Yeah, I think we need you know what? I think we need to see him against Green Bay. I think that'll be the sign. I'm
tempted, man. I am tempted.
Not yet.
Okay.
We have to see them play Green Bay. I mean, and if he could show what he's been showing the last few weeks against them in a high pressure game like that, a must-win game, then I think at that point, if he does, you have to either franchise tag him or extend him. And I guess he's going to be our guy going forward.
And I can't extend him personally. I can't. I got to see way more from him, but I'll franchise him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a smart move.
And especially like we're gonna get into our next video, especially after seeing other quarterbacks play yesterday. All of a sudden, you start to feel a little better about possibly franchising Mitch.
Yes. All right. Well, that's all we have for Bears post game, guys.
Go Bears! 7-7.
Bear down.
Bear down.
Yes.
Please hit like. Please subscribe to our channel. Like we said, we're a new YouTube channel. We're 2 guys in LA. We're huge Bears fans. All things Chicago sport.
Yep.
Thanks so much for watching, guys.
Yep. Bear down.
Bear down.